You guys, you have to give it to that. It was the Backstreet Boys were united. The NSYNC, I'll say it, the NSYNC. It was Justin Timberlake. And then the rest of them, it didn't feel cohesive in that same way.
Well, did you know that Justin Timberlake originally wasn't supposed to be like the main front guy? Like,
who was it supposed to be?
I think it was JC.
JC Chazé.
Yeah. And
he's still trying to be the front man today.
Yeah. And also,
poor JC.
I found there's like incredible footage of NSYNC like behind stage and like on tour, and like someone's just holding the camcorder, and like they're so funny. Like, actually, to have had a reality show about them, like
they have
were
personality.
Best friends. They were hilarious. JC was like literally roasting everybody. And then that NSYNC CD, I remember it like has the 5 of them all stacked next to each other and like the font up top. I had an NSYNC t-shirt, obviously.
For me, I think my life changed the day that I saw the Tearing Up My Heart video.
Oh my God.
When Justin Timberlake came out in that tight ass white tank top, twirling around with a pack of Top Ramen atop that scalp, something in me activated and it never turned off. Homosexuality. And the Backstreet Boys just didn't do that for me.
See,
unfortunately. I don't have that memory.
Why do you think Backstreet Boys didn't do that for you?
To me, they were very black and white, and NSYNC was like Technicolor to me. You know what I mean? They had the personality, they had the smiles, they had the look. There was something a little bit brooding about them.
Yeah.
The Backstreet Boys gave those annoying boys in my elementary school class. Like, you know what I mean? Like, very talent show. Like, not bad, but like certainly not great.
You just didn't want to fuck them.
At all.
Okay.
Well, so So you're
okay,
not.
Listen,
you're not
it's
into.
Alyssa.
You're not.
When
into,
I was a little boy and I saw the Tearing Up My Heart video.
You're not into talented singers, but have you ever thought about some of
Who
their
said
lyrics?
they wasn't talented? We discussed that there were two talented
there was
singers
like
in the
2
group.
singers in the group,
And they sang the hell out of every song.
They dance.
But what I'm trying
Oh
to
my
say
God,
is
did they
like that's
dance.
great that you had that. I'm not trying to take away from that, but the Backstreet Boys to me, like if we're talking about a boy band, NSYNC isn't a boy band.
What are they?
Because I don't know what they are, but that's what I'm saying. So that's why this isn't even a
Justin
competition.
Timberlake and the boys.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
You
Backstreet
really look at
Boys
NSYNC
was
as Justin Timberlake and the boys?
I do.
That's how they did it.
And y'all remember the Backstreet Boys as having individual personalities and remember all of their names?
Yes.
That's the way I feel about NSYNC.
That you feel opposite.
I feel like I'm
completely
getting a
opposite.
taste of what it's like to be across from Alyssa, and it's crazy.
Why?
Because she has so much energy. Like it's like an intense energy.
I like being on her side.
And it makes me want to be like, it makes me like even angrier than I already am about the topic.
Listen,
my God.
you loved a little curly hair ramen moment, okay? However,
Iconic.
the boy bowl cut that now
you.
that like Jonathan Taylor Thomas, every other like hot boy at the time came from Nick. Like
Nick
who is
Carter.
Nick?
I'm sorry.
Nick
I don't
Carter.
even know who he
stop.
is.
The blonde
Don't even. You know
guy.
Nick Carter, and
You
you
know he
freaking.
is.
They were
From
so
what?
powerful.
What has he
You know
done?
Nick Carter. He was so powerful that his little brother also was able to be a powerful star
Rest in peace.
because of Backstreet Boys. You know who Nick Carter is. Don't even pretend like you don't.
You do.
I know you know him, Monica.
If you're like me in the comments where you're like, who is Nick
You
Carter? Like,
know
help
Nick
me
Carter
out.
is.
Help me out.
He defined what it was to be a 90s heartthrob. That
Yeah, and
blonde
he can sing.
Devin Sawa.
yes,
All
yeah.
of those guys.
Jojo Siwa?
No. No, not JoJo Siwa.
Jonathan Taylor Thomas. Have you ever heard of
And
it?
he was in Casper.
Yeah, the
whenever
cute
he
guy
turns
that
into a
everyone
boy.
loved.
Whenever
Okay.
Casper turns into a boy, the cutest guy ever. And he was who he was because of Nick Carter.
And ladybugs.
Thank you.
Literally,
What
you're
are you talking
speaking
about?
gibberish to me. Okay, okay.
I want to
Let's
see Casper meets
let's
Wendy.
talk about the actual albums. Okay,
Okay.
Sure.
because NSYNC had 3 very popular albums
ma'am.
that made an incredible impact. Backstreet Boys had, I don't know, a dozen that no one gives a shit about and are still making albums and no one cares or wants to know. And
I'm
I guess
sorry.
Jade went to the concert because she was bored and probably got it for free.
No, I'm sorry.
And
You
so-
rather have a little sprint than a marathon?
I would
that.
actually rather have quality over quantity,
Me too.
actually, because I feel like I really enjoy NSYNC's music.
But they-
and
well,
I
maybe
enjoy
because-
Maybe
Backstreet Boys
because the
music
Backstreet
too.
Boys are actual musicians.
They're still
and
making
all
music.
all they know how to do is make music
They've
and be
grown.
amazing, iconic
They both-
humans.
They both went to
if they're-
Sweden.
If they're musicians, then why the music ain't hitting? And why
It's
we don't
hitting.
hear
You're
none of
not
their
listening
hits?
to it. You're not listening to it.
Also-
I would rather not be as famous and be an incredible harmonious boy band than to be whatever
I'm glad
NSYNC is.
that we agree that they're not as famous as NSYNC, thus winning the battle.
Every
period.
NSYNC song sounds
Sorry.
the same.
You
No,
think
no,
so?
no, no, no.
Yeah,
Alyssa!
they all sound the same.
What
They
two
all
NSYNC
blur
songs sound
together.
alike?
All of them.
you know what? I have a specific
Here's what it
question
sounds
for
like.
you.
Here's what it sounds like to me.
Da-da-da-da-wow-wow.
It's this. If you're watching the video, I can't see the lyrics. Alyssa, there's a song on the NSYNC album entitled God Must Have Spent a Little More Time on You.
Yeah.
You were a little Christian girl, okay?
But God doesn't do that. He spends the same amount of time on everybody.
Yeah.
No.
And that's wrong theology.
But if he did choose someone.
Alyssa liked that song growing
I want
up.
to be special, damn it.
And it's true. And I know I'm special, but I don't want to be. And unfortunately I am. But God spends the same amount of time on everybody.
No, she liked that song growing up. Admit that you liked it.
Improper theology.
Brian
Littrell is a Christian.
Who is that?
The lead of the
Some sort of heart survivor. I don't know, bro.
Which one is Joey Fatone?
Joey Fatone is from the NSYNC.
Okay, I'll give it to you. Joey Fatone's pretty fun.
Isn't that the one you dressed up as?
No, I dressed as Brian.
Oh, Kirkpatrick.
Chris Kirkpatrick, you could get your ass kicked.
Because I'm sorry, braces and like dreads on a white guy. Oh,
but listen, every single NSYNC member is just a little bit of a clone of Backstreet Boys. That's why it's like hard for me to even have this conversation with you guys.
It's like an edgier version.
It's like an edgier version of it.
Yeah,
and so yeah, sure, maybe they're a little bit better because they got to kind of copy. It's like, okay, copycats. I'm an original.
Okay, but this argument is a little Christina.
Can I ask the audience something?
Yeah.
We both know that Backstreet Boys and NSYNC have both been out. They both came out around the same time. But I want you guys to tell us in the comments, who do you think made more of an impact? Because NSYNC was around for a shorter period of time.
Yeah.
Versus the Backstreet Boys. So who had more of an impact?
Let's talk about cultural moments.
And let's also talk about how Justin Timberlake is an evil Brian Littrell.
Okay. Let's talk about cultural moments. Okay. They've both been interviewed in multiple magazines.
Which also,
what
I think
VMA moments Backstreet Boys had?
I think
because I remember NSYNC having some VMA moments.
Took their spot, I think, and also someone backstage like confused them. They're the same band, but
I mean,
see, to me, they're not the same band at all. That's just my opinion. They're very different to me. They may have been constructed the same way, but I feel like the output, the result is very.
I take
different
that back. They're not the same band.
I don't think they're the same band at all. They don't even dress alike to me.
Here's what I want to say. My best friend growing up, Leah Slovin, shout out Leah. We would be in we'd have sleepovers in her back room, all the girls. And I feel like when NSYNC came out, we were like, this is us. Like, we relate to this. We relate to the style, the dancing. Like, I never was on the Backstreet Boys train. But we would have sleepovers and we would make up dances to Bye Bye Bye.
That's powerful.
We would make up dances to like all of these different songs. And that's like what it was about. Do you know what I mean?
I wasn't dancing to Backstreet Boys. Everybody know this.
Yeah.
We don't know what the hell they're doing over there wearing all white in the airport. Feel like I don't know what they're doing.
I was able to learn. I remember when the Backstreet Boys came out and everybody was like, oh my gosh, Brian's so hot, Brian's so hot. And I didn't necessarily think that. I was more into Howie.
She said, that goddamn ponytail got me.
I remember being like, Howie, is that okay that I'm into Howie? And you know what? Yeah, it was okay.
Yeah, it was kind of like, which flavor do you like?
That was important for me.
Because at that time, think about it, it wasn't like the Monkees. It wasn't like, the Beatles. We're coming out of like that era of like serious musicians. And we're like, you know what? Put down those instruments. Thrust your hips and make these girls
go.
This was a boy band era.
It was.
And it also started 98 Degrees.
O-Town.
Hanson, like you said.
O-Town. Yeah. And we don't remember those guys. So, hey, they were the top two. How about that?
It created this whole like boy band frenzy. Like we were watching a video earlier where it was live concert of NSYNC and then it would cut to these girls in braces, literally sobbing at the concert. And it created this crazy Beatles fandom.
That's what's called listomania.
I think it's just
when people get obsessive about.
There's a quick little factoid I want to give, and I'll let the viewers kind of determine. At the 2000 VMAs, Kid Rock said that he liked NSYNC's commercial better than Backstreet Boys' commercial for Burger King. So if Kid Rock is on your side, what are you doing?
What are you doing?